Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into some of the most valuable and collectible US coins you may want to keep an eye out for. We're talking about three iconic pieces in US coinage history: the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar, the 1971 Kennedy half dollar, and the 2000 Sacagawea dollar. So, let's get into it. First up, the 1976 Eisenhower $1 with AD mint mark is one of the most iconic and memorable coins in the history of the United States. It was issued to commemorate the bicentennial of the American Revolution and its lasting impact on the nation's identity. This coin was minted in the mid-1970s, a time when America was experiencing a renaissance of patriotism and nostalgia for its early history. The coin was designed to symbolize the nation's strength and resilience, reflecting the historical significance of the 1776 Declaration of Independence while simultaneously looking forward to the future. The Eisenhower dollar was unique in a number of ways. First, it was one of the last large-sized coins issued by the U.S. Mint, making it a significant artifact in the evolution of U.S. currency. It was minted in a larger diameter than most other circulating coins, measuring 38.1 millimeters, which gives it a bold and imposing presence in the palm of your hand. The coin's design was meant to capture both the spirit of the founding of the United States and the modern American experience of the 1970s. The obverse of the Eisenhower dollar features a portrait of President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who served as the 34th President of the United States from 1953 to 1961. Eisenhower was a five-star general during World War II and later became a beloved public figure, representing leadership and authority. The portrait of Eisenhower on the coin was designed by artist Frank Gasparo, and it shows the former president in a dignified pose. The image of Eisenhower is surrounded by the inscription, "Liberty," above his head and, "In God We Trust," beneath it, with the date, 1976, placed underneath. While the portrait of Eisenhower is central to the design, the reverse side of the coin is equally important. The reverse features a dramatic depiction of the Liberty Bell superimposed on the surface of the moon. This design was chosen as a way to represent both the bicentennial anniversary of the American Revolution and the recent achievements of the U.S. space program, particularly the Apollo 11 mission, which had landed astronauts on the moon in 1969. The Liberty Bell is a powerful symbol of American independence and freedom, while the moon landing represented the triumph of human ingenuity and the limitless potential of the nation. The symbolism on the reverse side of the coin underscores the dual themes of freedom and progress, key elements of the American story. The design was created by Dennis R. Williams, an engraver at the U.S. Mint, and it struck a perfect balance between reflecting the historical nature of the coin's commemoration and looking toward the future of the United States. The Eisenhower dollar was minted in both 40% silver and copper-nickel clad versions. The 40% silver version was released for collectors, while the copper-nickel clad version was designed for circulation. The silver coin was priced higher, and collectors were drawn to it because of its precious metal content. As for the regular copper-nickel clad coin, it was issued in massive quantities and was widely distributed. Despite this, the silver coin is more highly valued among numismatists and collectors, especially in higher-grade conditions. The Denver Mint, one of the key U.S. Mint facilities, played an important role in the production of the Eisenhower dollar. Coins with the D mint mark were minted in Denver, while those without a mint mark were produced in Philadelphia. The D mint mark coins are sometimes viewed as being slightly rarer than their Philadelphia counterparts, but the difference in rarity is relatively small. Nevertheless, mint mark collectors often seek out the D version for their collections, as it signifies the unique production location. One of the interesting aspects of the 1776 to 1976 Eisenhower dollar is that it was created as part of a special bicentennial program. The U.S. government decided to release several commemorative coins in 1975 and 1976 to mark the 200th anniversary of the United States independence from Great Britain. In addition to the Eisenhower dollar, the U.S. Mint issued a special bicentennial quarter, half dollar, and the famed 1976 silver proof set. These coins were eagerly anticipated by the American public and collectors alike, making the Eisenhower dollar a valuable item for both casual collectors and numismatists. While the coin's initial release generated excitement, the long-term value of the Eisenhower dollar fluctuated in the decades that followed. In the years immediately following its release, the coin was widely circulated, and the number of uncirculated or high-grade coins was relatively low. This made well-preserved examples of the coin sought after in the years to come. In fact, today, many collectors focus on finding coins that were kept in pristine condition during their circulation or shortly thereafter. Coins that are rated as MS or PR proof by professional grading services tend to command much higher prices than those in circulated or worn condition. A factor that played a role in the coin's long-term market value is its distinctive size and composition. While the Eisenhower dollar was initially minted in high numbers, the larger size and relatively high face value made it less appealing for daily use. By the late 1970s, many people simply found the coin to be cumbersome and impractical for everyday transactions. As a result, the coin was largely withdrawn from circulation, and production of the Eisenhower dollar ended in 1978. As the Eisenhower dollar was phased out of regular circulation, it was replaced by the smaller-sized Susan B. Anthony dollar, which featured a different design and was more suited to everyday use. Despite the fact that the Eisenhower dollar did not have long-term staying power in regular circulation, it gained a dedicated following among collectors, and its value has steadily increased over the years. Coins in uncirculated condition or those with unique minting errors tend to fetch the highest prices at auctions, and some rare examples have sold for hundreds of dollars. One of the most significant factors influencing the coin's value today is its historical significance. The 1976 Eisenhower dollar was issued during a time when America was looking back on its revolutionary roots and its founding ideals. It was a moment when patriotism was high, and the bicentennial celebrations were in full swing. In this context, the coin became more than just currency, it became a symbol of national pride and reflection on the American story. The Eisenhower dollar is also remembered for its role in the broader history of U.S. coinage. It marked the end of an era for large-sized coins in the United States, and it was part of a larger trend in the mid-20th century to create coins that reflected the spirit of the times. The coin's design and its issuance in the bicentennial year stand as a tribute to the values that America has held dear for over 200 years. Collectors today continue to seek out the 1976 Eisenhower dollar for its historical value, aesthetic appeal, and its place in the annals of American numismatics. Whether you are looking for a coin with the D mint mark, a coin in pristine condition, or one with a rare minting error, the Eisenhower dollar remains one of the most fascinating and collectible coins in U.S. history. As time passes and fewer pristine examples remain available, the coin's appeal is likely to increase, making it a valuable addition to any collection. Next up, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with a D mint mark in fine condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a newcomer to numismatics, this coin is a fascinating blend of history, artistry, and value. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's break down everything you need to know about this particular coin. The Kennedy half-dollar was first minted in 1964, just after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The U.S. Mint wanted to honor the late president, and so, it replaced the Benjamin Franklin half-dollar with a new design that would feature Kennedy's likeness. The reverse of the coin shows the classic heraldic eagle design, which had been used in various forms on U.S. coinage throughout history. However, today, we're focusing on the 1971 issue, a coin that marks a significant era in the history of the Kennedy half-dollar series. This specific coin, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with a D mint mark, was minted at the Denver Mint. Mint marks are crucial identifiers in coin collecting, as they tell you where the coin was made. The D mint mark signifies Denver, one of the primary facilities responsible for producing coins in the U.S. During the 1970s, both the Denver and Philadelphia mints were key players in producing various denominations, but for our coin today, it's the Denver mint's influence that's front and center. Now, let's talk about the condition, fine. In numismatics, a coin's condition determines its desirability and market value. The fine grade indicates that the coin has been circulated, but it still retains a decent amount of detail. You'll see a moderate amount of wear, especially on the high points of the design like Kennedy's hair and the eagle's wings. In a fine condition, a coin still exhibits its key features without being heavily worn down or too scuffed up. The detail is clear, but there might be light scratches or abrasions that come from being in circulation for a time. It's important to understand the historical context of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar. By the time this coin was minted, the United States was moving away from silver, and the coin had transitioned to a clad composition. The half-dollar coins from 1971 onwards were made of 40% silver until 1970, but starting in 1971, they switched to a copper-nickel clad composition. This was part of the U.S. Mint's decision to reduce the cost of producing coins, as silver prices had been rising significantly. The 1971 coin represents this shift, and while it is not silver, it still holds a nostalgic value for collectors who remember the time when silver was a standard feature in U.S. currency. In terms of mintage, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar was produced in vast quantities. The total mintage for this coin is impressive, with over 200 million coins struck that year. As you can imagine, such a high mintage means that this coin is relatively common, and in lower grades, it's not worth much more than face value. However, as with many coins, the value rises significantly depending on the condition, variety, and any potential errors. Speaking of varieties, while the 1971 coin itself doesn't feature any particularly rare or notable varieties, it's always good to keep an eye out for special features. The Kennedy half-dollar series has some interesting die varieties, such as repunched mint marks or doubling, but these are not commonly found in the 1971 D issue. Still, if you happen to find an error or unique variety in your collection, it can significantly boost the value. Let's talk about the market value of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition. In general, because this coin is relatively common, it's not worth a fortune, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have value. Typically, a 1971 D Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition will be worth somewhere around $3,000 to $7,000. It's not a coin that will make you rich, but it's still a great piece for any collector, especially one who's building a collection of Kennedy half-dollars or exploring the era of transition between silver and clad coins. By the time this coin was minted, the United States was moving away from silver, and the coin had transitioned to a clad composition. The half-dollar coins from 1971 onwards were made of 40% silver until 1970, but starting in 1971, they switched to a copper-nickel clad composition. This was part of the U.S. Mint's decision to reduce the cost of producing coins, as silver prices had been rising significantly. The 1971 coin represents this shift, and while it is not silver, it still holds a nostalgic value for collectors who remember the time when silver was a standard feature in U.S. currency. In terms of mintage, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar was produced in vast quantities. The total mintage for this coin is impressive, with over 200 million coins struck that year. As you can imagine, such a high mintage means that this coin is relatively common, and in lower grades, it's not worth much more than face value. However, as with many coins, the value rises significantly depending on the condition, variety, and any potential errors. Speaking of varieties, while the 1971 coin itself doesn't feature any particularly rare or notable varieties, it's always good to keep an eye out for special features. The Kennedy half-dollar series has some interesting die varieties, such as repunched mint marks or doubling, but these are not commonly found in the 1971 D issue. Still, if you happen to find an error or unique variety in your collection, it can significantly boost the value. Let's talk about the market value of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition. In general, because this coin is relatively common, it's not worth a fortune, but that doesn't mean it doesn't have value. Typically, a 1971 D Kennedy half-dollar in fine condition will be worth somewhere around $3,000 to $7,000. It's not a coin that will make you rich, but it's still a great piece for any collector, especially one who's building a collection of Kennedy half-dollars or exploring the era of transition between silver and clad coins. The value can change based on factors like demand, condition, and where the coin is being sold. If you're looking to sell or buy this coin, it's important to stay aware of market trends, as prices can fluctuate. High-grade coins in excellent condition can sometimes fetch much higher prices, though we are focusing on the fine condition today, where the value is a bit more modest. There are a few things you can look for to enhance the value of your Kennedy half-dollar collection. If you happen to come across a proof coin or one in higher grades such as uncirculated, you could see a significant boost in value. For example, a 1971D coin in MS-65 condition could be worth significantly more, as collectors prize higher-grade examples. The proof versions of this coin, struck with more attention to detail and special care, are also highly sought after. If you find one in an excellent state of preservation, you may be able to sell it for a much higher price. It's also worth noting that over time, rarity plays a big role in determining the future value of coins like this. While 1971D Kennedy half dollars aren't extremely rare now, years down the line, as fewer and fewer survive in great condition, their value could increase. So if you're holding on to one of these in decent shape, it might be worth more in the future, especially as people continue to discover and appreciate coins from this unique period in U.S. history. As we wrap up this detailed look at the 1971 Kennedy half dollar with a D mint mark in fine condition, it's clear that while this particular coin might not be the most valuable in terms of face value, it still holds significant appeal to collectors. It represents a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage, and its place in American history makes it a valuable piece for anyone who appreciates the legacy of President Kennedy and the evolution of U.S. currency. In fine condition, it's not an investment that will make you a millionaire, but it's a great start to a collection or a nice piece to add to your existing one. Plus, the historical significance and connection to the early 1970s make it a memorable coin to own and study. Whether you're new to collecting or have been in the game for years, this coin deserves a spot in your collection. Finally, the 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin with AP mint mark. This coin is an essential part of modern American numismatics, combining both historical significance and unique design. So, let's delve into the history, mintage, and the factors that can influence its market value. First, let's talk about the Sacagawea dollar, which was introduced by the U.S. Mint in the year 2000. This coin replaced the Eisenhower dollar, a coin that had not seen significant circulation for years. The U.S. Mint wanted to introduce a coin that would resonate with the public and honor a remarkable historical figure. Sacagawea was chosen for this honor due to her crucial role in the Lewis and Clark expedition. As a Shoshone woman, she acted as a guide and translator for the explorers, and her contributions to the success of their journey are legendary. The Sacagawea dollar features her image on the obverse, created by artist Glenna Goodacker, making it both a tribute to her and a lasting piece of American history. The design of the coin itself is remarkable. On the obverse, we see Sacagawea carrying her son, Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau, who was born during the expedition. This design was chosen not only because of its historical accuracy but also to symbolize strength, motherhood, and determination, qualities that were vital to Sacagawea's role during the journey. The reverse of the coin features a majestic eagle in flight, designed by artist Thomas D. Rogers, further enhancing the symbolism of freedom and exploration. Now, let's focus on the P Mint mark, which identifies that this particular coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint has been one of the cornerstone facilities of the U.S. Mint since its establishment in 1792. Coins bearing the P Mint mark are highly regarded by collectors as they represent one of the main production facilities in the country. Interestingly, the 2000 Sacagawea dollar was one of the first coins in the history of U.S. currency to feature the P Mint mark on a circulating coin, a significant milestone for collectors. When we consider the condition of the coin, there are several factors to take into account. Since we're focusing on the 2000 Sacagawea dollar in circulated condition, the coin has seen some wear from being in circulation. However, even coins that have been circulated can still hold significant value depending on the degree of wear, the condition of the design, and the coin's overall preservation. Typically, in a circulated condition, the details of the coin might be slightly worn down, especially around the edges and on Sacagawea's profile, but the overall design should still be visible and identifiable. In terms of mintage, the 2000 Sacagawea dollar had a total mintage of 295 million coins, with the P Mint mark accounting for a large portion of this. The high mintage means that in general, the coin is relatively easy to find. However, it's not just the mintage that determines the value, it's also the condition of the coin and the presence of any rare varieties or errors that can significantly increase its worth. Let's talk a bit about the error coins and varieties that are associated with the 2000 Sacagawea dollar. While the 2000 Sacagawea dollar is generally known for its relatively straightforward design and mintage, there are some rare varieties and errors that have captured the attention of collectors. One notable variety is the Cheerios dollar, a coin that was produced in a special batch and included in boxes of Cheerios cereal. These coins were released to promote the new Sacagawea dollar, and they were made in limited quantities, making them significantly rarer than their regular counterparts. If you happen to have a Cheerios dollar, it could be worth several $1,000s, depending on its condition. The Cheerio dollars often have slight variations in their minting process that make them stand out, and they are highly sought after by collectors. Another error that collectors often look for is a double die or striking error on the obverse or reverse. Sometimes, a die used to strike the coins might have a misalignment, causing part of the design to appear doubled. While these errors are not common, they are valuable when they are discovered. If you come across a 2000 Sacagawea dollar with a notable error, you could be looking at a significant increase in value, depending on the severity of the error and its overall condition. Now, let's turn our attention to the market value of the 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin with AP mint mark. As mentioned, the high mintage of this coin means that in general, it doesn't carry an extremely high value in its circulated state. A coin in higher grades, like MS-65 or better, can fetch around $3,500 to $4,700, and if it's certified by a reputable grading service, it could go for even higher amounts. For the Cheerios dollar, which we touched on earlier, values can be significantly higher, depending on condition. Some Cheerios Sacagawea dollars have sold for as much as $65,000 to $12,000 at auction, depending on rarity and condition. This is because the Cheerios dollar is a special variety with a limited mintage, and collectors are always on the lookout for these coins to complete their collections. Additionally, if you're lucky enough to find a double die error or other striking errors, the value could easily jump to the $7,000 to $10,000 range, depending on the error type and the coin's condition. Beyond its immediate value in terms of market price, the 2000 Sacagawea dollar also holds historical importance, making it a favorite for collectors who are interested in the story behind the coin. It represents an important turning point in U.S. currency, as it introduced a new, distinctive design that stood out from previous coinage. The Sacagawea dollar's debut was a symbol of the U.S. Mint's effort to revitalize coinage and introduce something that felt both fresh and representative of the nation's values and history. For those looking to invest in the 2000 Sacagawea dollar, it's important to keep in mind that, while the coin is not extremely rare in its standard form, its value could increase over time. Like all U.S. coins, the longer you hold on to it, the more its condition and rarity could influence its future market value. Whether you're collecting for investment or simply appreciating the historical significance of the coin, the 2000 Sacagawea dollar with AP mint mark is a great addition to any collection. As we close today's episode, it's clear that the 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin with AP mint mark is a key piece in the puzzle of American coinage. It's not just a coin that honors a significant figure in U.S. history, but it's also a reminder of the ongoing changes in U.S. currency design. While it may not be a coin that will make you rich, its value lies in the story it tells and the connection it provides to an important chapter in American history. Be sure to stay tuned to Coins Action for more insights into the world of rare coins. We'll continue to explore valuable treasures from U.S. history, helping you grow your collection and knowledge. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow coin enthusiasts. Happy collecting, and keep hunting for those hidden gems.